the hell does Homer Simpson go from selling poop to make ends meet
Manure, potato! Get your manure!
to affording a life like this?
Homer Simpson, a bloody millionaire?
Is his net worth bigger than Matt Groening's, or is it barely enough to fill up a fracking piggy bank?
Everybody's confused. So I'm going to find out how much money Homer really has by breaking down all of his income, expenses, and assets, starting with his job at the plant.
He's safety inspector of the nuclear power plant, and despite the many mishaps he's caused,
Oh, you stupid son of a...
he's actually held down the job for 10 solid years. So how much is Burns paying Homer to cause meltdowns, scarf down donuts, and goof off? Well, we do see his paycheck in the episode of Much Ado About Nothing.
Hey! How come my pay is so low? Air patrol tax $5. What? This is an outrage! It's the biggest tax increase in history!
Homer's weekly salary is $479.60, which works out to about $1,918.40 per month and $23,020.80 per year before tax. He's been working for 10 years though, so his total earnings so far from the plant come in at $230,208. He is grossly underpaid, but at least his side hustles have brought in some extra cash to put toward donuts. I mean, at least his college fund. In the episode Mr. Plow, Homer buys a snowplow after obliterating both family cars while driving home in a blizzard.
I can't believe you bought that plow. We can't afford it.
If you're gonna get mad at me every time I do something stupid, then I guess I'll just have to stop doing stupid things.
Good.
Fine. I'll never ever do another stupid thing. Good night.
He decides to start his own snowplowing business named Mr. Plow, and even though he puts out a homemade commercial with worse acting than a Darman video,
Our driveway snowed in. Old Man Winter!
That's right. I fill your driveways with ice and snow. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's what. Stop.
Mr. Plow!
Get out, you lousy season. All right, I'm going. My head hurts. I have to lie down for a while. Oh, Mr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
business is booming. Kids aren't too happy about the school reopening though.
We won't miss a minute of school thanks to your father.
Say your prayers, Plow Boy!
Homer plowed so many driveways, Mayor Quimby awarded him the key to the fracking city.
Mr. Plow, for making it possible for people to get where they're going without resorting to public transportation or carpooling, I give you the key to the city.
But how much money did he actually make? 60% of professionals in the snow plowing business say that they earn no more than 30% of their annual salary each winter. Going off that percentage, Mr. Plow made almost $7,000, which doesn't sound too great considering the truck cost him $20,000 to begin with.
Your wife?
What, you think I'm gonna buy a $20,000 truck just because you make that noise? I'll take it.
Hopefully, Homer's next get-rich-quick scheme will be a bit more profitable. In the episode Grandpa vs. Inadequacy, he starts selling the tonic with Abe.
I doubt very highly that one elixir could boast so many fantastic properties.
What say we amscray out of here and have a wild wingding at the cyclotron, Doctor?
Anything you say, Professor.
The highly potent love potion makes people extremely horny. None of the grown-ups will leave their bedrooms now, so the kids of Springfield must fend for themselves.
What's going on? Where are all the grown-ups?
Will you cook my dinner for me? My parents aren't around and I'm not allowed to turn on the stove.
Even though Homer's New Year's resolution was to not spend more time with Abe, he never passes up an opportunity to rake in that dough. So the next day, Simpson and Son become traveling salesmen and sell their tonic to the residents of Frigid Falls, Mount Seldom, and Lake Placid. Despite all his success, Homer eventually threw in the towel. He just couldn't deal with his heartless bastard of a father any longer.
If I hadn't taken that stupid tonic 38 years ago, you'd have never been born and I'd have been happy. You were an accident.
Get out.
If I know Homer, he would have kept every last dime of the profits for himself, whether Abe pissed him off or not. So how much money did he make selling this tonic? Well, Springfield has a population of around 60,000, half of whom I'm guessing is active adults. Assuming those other 3 towns have a similar population, Simpson and Son could very well have sold 90,000 bottles of the tonic, which were priced at $1 each. $1? Homer went to all that effort when he could have just sold 1 bottle of the industry for millions. I don't think he'll beat himself up about it, though. After all, he's already a millionaire. Probably all think Homer Simpson is a talentless dumbass, but his very successful music career proves you're only half right. In the episode Homer's Barbershop Quartet, Bart and Lisa discover an old record with their dad's face on it at a swap meet. Homer explains he was a member of the B Sharps and tells the story of how they rose to fame in the mid-1980s. How they went from 4 nobodies performing at the old folks' home.
Goodbye, my Coney Island baby.
That's my son up there.
What, the balding fat ass?
No, the Hindu guy.
Performing for the president, achieving global superstardom, and even winning a Grammy.
The B-Sharps! Congratulations.
David Crosby, you're my hero.
Oh, you like my music?
You're a musician?
B Sharps released a second album titled Bigger Than Jesus. While they certainly weren't that big, they were as big as the Beatles. Each Beatle earned around $3 million in the 60s, equivalent to $10 million in 1985. So Homer made enough income to retire, yet returned to his job at the plant once he became a washed-up has-been. The Simpsons timeline is ever-changing, though. So in the 1990s, Homer wasn't some bald dad stealing various appliances from neighbors. He was in his early 20s and frontman of the popular grudge band Sadgasm. Assuming Sadgasm were successful as Nirvana will add $50 million to Homer's income, as that was how much money Kurt Cobain had made at the time of his death. Homer hated being a famous rock star and eventually quit the music industry, leaving fans devastated and deeply concerned about his heroin addiction.
I need it.
I'm getting you off this stuff.
But I need it.
No, you don't.
That heroin turned out to be insulin he needed for his diabetes, so after a quick trip to the hospital, Homer was back to being a nobody with $60 million. And we ain't even brushed on the fact that he'd still be earning royalties from Sadgasm and the B-Sharps to this day. Presuming Homer was signed to 2 major record labels, he could be pocketing a very nice $1.5 million each year in royalties. There's a lot of debate about how old Homer actually is. Ignoring the show's insane timeline changes, he was born in 1956, making him 33 years old as of the show's 1989 premiere. He was a grudge singer in his early 20s, and the B-Sharps were formed in 1985. That means he's earned approximately $21 million so far in royalties. Dude's been working his ass off, but still gets called lazy, even when his grand total income is $81,327,114. That's enough money to buy a lifetime supply of donuts, a solid gold hammock, and to build his very own itchy and scratchy theme park in the frackin' backyard. You can't expect someone like him to handle wealth wisely, though, so it's time to break down all the ridiculous ways Homer's blown through his massive income. Let's discuss the elephant in the room first, and no, I don't mean him, I mean the tax man. According to a tax calculator I found online, $38,098,641 of his earnings would have been lost to income tax, leaving him with $43,228,473 buckaroonies. Homer's still pretty darn rich, but we've got loads of personal expenses to break down now, starting with the cost of educating his children. Springfield Elementary is a public school, so there are obviously no tuition fees here. That doesn't mean it's 100% free, though. Homer still has to give Bart and Lisa lunch money every day.
Hey, wait up.
Since Lisa can buy 2 meals with a handful of loose change, lunch from the cafeteria probably only costs $1. Your typical American school is open 180 days a year, so the kids get $360 annually between them. Bart's in the 4th grade, Lisa's in the 2nd, so Homer's shelled out just over $1,000 so his kids can eat sloppy joes and the veggie alternative.
Yeah.
Homer's also spent a lot on stationery over the years. According to data, parents spend an average of $701 per child on school supplies each year. So Homer spent $4,206 on frackin' pencils and paper.
Dad, they got every kind of paper. Loose leaf, graph, unlined. College ruled.
Can't you just write on your arm like I do?
Between cafeteria mystery meat and enough pencils to supply an office, Homer's forked over $5,000 on Bart and Lisa's education. But what about the cost of taking the kids on family vacations? The Simpsons have traveled outside the U.S. at least 37 times, and when the Simpsons go global, they always bring plenty of chaos with them. In Bart vs. Australia, Bart got arrested for a prank call and was sentenced to being kicked in the ass with a giant boot.
You stole the dog, Conover!
In the Regina monologues, the Simpsons visited England, and Homer almost doomed the Queen to the same fate as Princess Diana.
Okay, we're gonna go over there and see if they're cool.
Dad, you rear-ended the Queen of England.
The Queen of what?
In Simpsons Safari, their trip to Africa was going great until Homer spanked a hippo and got his family stranded in a fracking river.
Okay, here's the situation. We're hopelessly lost and about to die. Don't worry. Being eaten by a crocodile is just like going to sleep in a giant blender.
Wonder where this river goes.
And how could any of them ever forget almost burning to death on that Japanese game show in 30 Minutes Over Tokyo?
Marge, there's you!
Those are some pretty expensive vacations. The Simpsons' international adventures are often funded by other people, but Homer still coughs up money for clothes, food, travel insurance, cabs, tickets for tourist attractions, and souvenirs. As I said before, they vacationed outside the U.S. 37 times, so my guess is that all the travel expenses add up to around $35,000. I'm sure dozens of exotic Duff beers contributed to that total, which brings me to Homie's next major expense, booze. His alcohol addiction is nowhere near as bad as Barney's, but he clearly does have a problem.
Wow, I'll never drink another beer.
Beer here!
I'll take that.
This boozer's natural habitat is Moe's Tavern. You can find his fat ass planted on Barstool almost every night of the week.
Another Duff, Homer?
Nah, it's Friday night, Mo. I want to try something special.
Sure. Here you go. Doof from Sweden.
Go! Wait a minute, this is Duff.
Presuming Homer's been visiting Moe's every night since he turned 21 and has drunk an average of 5 beers every time he's been there, that adds up to 21,840 beers over the last 13 years. Moe's beer costs $2.
Buy me a beer, $2 a glass.
So Homer spent a whopping 43,680 grand in total. Which doesn't actually sound too insane given how many years it's been, but I haven't even mentioned all the beer he's drunk at home yet. Duff. That's his beer of choice, and he just loves to guzzle it down while watching TV or relaxing in Maggie's kiddie pool.
There you are. Thought you could get away, huh?
Despite all the groceries they buy, more on that later, the Simpsons fridge is normal size. Homer can't fit any more than 2 packs of 12 cans in there, so I'll assume that's exactly what he buys every week. The price of something like that would be around $30, so Homer spent $120 a month on Duff since he started using a fake ID at age 17.
When I was 17, I drank some very good beer. I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McKee.
Over 17 years, that's a total of $24,480 to add to this beer total. Homer's liver is definitely taking a beating, and not just from the alcohol.
I feel sick.
Keep drinking. I prepaid $40.
Homer, maybe we're doing this wrong.
The average Joe spends around $2,449 annually on fuel. We know Homer's been driving since he was a high school senior.
Hey, Homer, you're late for English. English? Who needs that? I'm never going to England. Come on, let's go smoke.
We do the math, that means he spent $39,184 on gas over the past 16 years. Today, Homer drives his iconic pink sedan, a car that suffered just a little wear and tear.
He's about to hit a chestnut tree.
Ja, bitte. Ja, bitte. Ja, bitte.
Du bist gestorben, dann ich und dann treffe ich hier meine beiden toten Ehemänner wieder. Und muss jetzt wählen, wo ich meine Ewigkeit verbringe.
Du musst dich jetzt entscheiden, für mich oder für
Ist
ihn.
doch kein Wettbewerb, Larry.
Was ist es?
100%. Nur deswegen sind wir hier.
Baba makes you dance. 20 € Startbonus. Jetzt Jugendkonto eröffnen. Mehr Details auf baba.at.
good as he got me.
Homer would save so much money if he just took the bus, and even more if he actually let his own father live with him. Springfield Retirement Castle ain't exactly the Ritz.
A better room opened up. Hot diggity! Not diggity! This room is tiny. How's it better?
So I'll assume the annual fees are $36,462, which is half the U.S. average. When the B-Sharps performed at the home in 1985, Abe was in the audience, so he's been a resident for at least 4 years. That means Homer spent almost $150 grand on his father's care. I'm sure he regrets every penny, but there's one thing I know he'll never ever regret spending money on, is one true love, Marge. Sorry, did I say Marge? I meant food. Every day, this greedy man goes to work with a family-sized bag of chips and 4 club sandwiches. And what does a weekly grocery run look like for this colossal foodie? One word: diabetes.
I need this candy for school. Candy class.
Well, okay, but get 5 bags in case we eat 4 on the way home.
My teacher said I need cupcakes. Cupcakes to learn.
In the cart.
Ugh, I'm out of wine.
Cart.
We need these because we have to.
My doctor says, and my garage mechanic agrees that...
In the cart.
Marge normally does groceries so the family still gets some healthy stuff, but that doesn't mean their shopping bill is cheap. If we look closely at the show's intro, The Simpsons' weekly grocery shop comes to $847.63 in total. That's $3,390.52 per month. Homer's been as fat as he is now since Bart was a baby. The grocery bill has likely remained the same for the past 10 years. That means this lord ass has been a whopping $406,862.40 on food in total. To put that into perspective, an average American family of 5 would only have to spend around 100 grand on groceries during that time. If that isn't a wake-up call for Homer to get his gluttony in check, maybe learning how much money his stupidity costs will finally make him book an appointment to get that crayon out of his brain. Homer's had thousands of don't-worthy moments, but here are some of his priciest mistakes. In Bye Bye Nerdy, he wanted to baby-proof Dr. Hibbert's pool and blew about 20 grand on Jell-O when safety nets exist for about $10.
To go take a swim. Out on in, just haul off and jump right in.
In Bart the Daredevil, Homer deliberately tried to skateboard over Springfield Gorge.
I'm gonna make it! This is the greatest thrill of my life!
Spoiler alert, he did not make it. Not only did that fall probably break every bone in his body, it broke his bank account too. The hospital bill would include the helicopter airlift, the ambulance ride, at least 30 nights in the ICU, a breakdown of pain medication, treatment for 206 bone fractures, and plenty of traumatic injury rehabilitation. All that would add up to roughly $627,300. If the Europeans watching this video are still alive after learning the cost of American healthcare, we'll be moving on to something even more insane. Homer using plutonium to grow tomatoes. In E.I.E.I.D.O., Homer becomes a farmer and believes a deadly radioactive chemical will make a great fertilizer for his crops.
Well, Marge, have you ever seen a field glow like that?
It's eerily beautiful. But are you sure this is safe?
Of course not.
Plutonium is $4,000 per gram, so spreading a 1 millimeter thick layer over that land would have cost old Mac Simpson approximately $75,850,000. Homer would literally need to sell tomatoes for thousands of years just to make a profit. Fortunately, the mutant tobacco that grew from the plutonium was super addictive, and a tobacco company offered him $150 million for the whole farm.
We all agree that 150 million is an insult. The least we can accept is 150 billion! They'll be back. We control the world's supply of tobacco, and no one can take that away from... You're eating our future! Get out! No! Go home! Thank God! There's one left! You!
His greediness shot himself in the foot, and he got shot in the arm at the end of the episode anyway. All in all, Homer's expenses have racked up a grand total of $115,404,281.40. Blows his only gun and put himself more than $34 million in debt, but he's still got plenty of assets. Will he end up filthy rich by the end of this video, or will he have to go back to selling manure? Let's dive into Homer Simpson's estate and find out the exact values of his possessions, starting with his own home, 742 Evergreen Terrace. From the outside, it looks like any standard American home, but inside, it's a rotten dump that's falling apart.
Little help here?
Homer bought the house in the 80s using a $15,000 check Abe gave him. An absolutely unhinged price, considering an average family home in suburban Oregon today costs $665,000. Let's face it, Homer's house is a pigsty and Evergreen Terrace just flat out stinks.
Terrace. Evergreen Terrace. The street that smells like pee.
The total value of his house realistically shouldn't be any higher than $300,000, and that's me including the secret sauna room behind the heater. However, the historical ties the property has will significantly increase its value. Two U.S. presidents, George Bush and Gerald Ford, both lived in the house across the street.
Hello, Mr. Bush. Hey, cool. What does this do?
Now don't you pull that cord, young man. Hey, bar, my motor's gone loco. Oh, the birdhound. He spanked you? You? Bart Simpson?
I begged him to stop, but he said it was for the good of the nation.
Hey, Bush! Get out here!
That is obviously going to make Homer's house more attractive to buyers despite its many, many faults. So my guess is the real value of 742 Evergreen Terrace is around $700,000. Which is great news for Homer. I mean, the only valuable item he actually has inside the house is his record collection. All the albums would be considered vintage now, and depending on their rarity, the value of Homer's collection could be as high as $10 grand. Apart from those records and all the stuff he's permanently borrowed from his neighborino.
You steal my air conditioner?
Well, I admit it looks bad, Flanders.
We've established that Homer's house is basically just filled with junk and two hunks of it are sitting on the driveway. His rusty, dusty pink sedan has been put through so much abuse. We've all seen Bart hit the roof of his skateboard too many times to count, but have you ever seen him do it while morbidly obese? Homer's car is based on a 1984 Plymouth Reliant, which isn't worth much in real life, so accompany that with all the severe wear and tear, and dude's only looking at about $1,000 for this asset. Luckily, Marge's car is worth a bit more in cash. Homer refers to the vehicle as his car in summer of 4.2.
Wait, merciful crap! My car!
So I'm gonna assume it's in his name. The vehicle looks like a 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle station wagon, which values around 20 grand at auction. However, Marge's car has degraded so much over time, the engine won't even start in cold weather.
Give it a little more gas. No, that's too much. What I think would help? What would help? Nothing.
And don't even get me started on the fact that her car will forever smell like grease thanks to Homer and his stupid get-rich-quick schemes.
Mom's gonna kill you.
If she didn't want her car ruined, she should have done a better job hiding her keys.
Homer would definitely rank in the top 5 worst husbands ever, and this next episode is even more proof of how shitty he can be. In Million Dollar Maybe, Homer is supposed to perform a duet with Marge at a wedding, but when a fortune cookie tells him today is his lucky day, he blows her off to go buy a lottery ticket, leaving her totally humiliated in front of hundreds of people.
You like potato? You like tomato? Let's call the whole thing.
After buying the ticket, Homer races to the wedding at 110 miles per hour, only to plunge off a cliff to his death. But hey, at least he didn't get a speeding ticket. Homer miraculously survives the crash, and while lying in a hospital, he discovers that he won the lottery. He keeps his cool, though, and decides not to tell Marge they're millionaires for this perfectly logical reason.
Wait, if I tell Marge I won, she'll know I was buying the ticket when I was supposed to be on stage with her. Oh, I'm rich and I can't even tell my own wife.
After claiming the $685,443.22 prize money, the IRS took 30%. Homer immediately splurges on gifts for his family and hides them so they won't know he's rich. fact that everyone got amazing stuff but Bart got allergy medicine is just a slap in the face, honestly. Like, buying your kid the medication they need isn't a gift. It's the bare fucking minimum. Surprise, surprise, Homer blew all of his winnings in just a few weeks, but at least he spent the last of the cash taking Marge on the most romantic date of her life.
Oh my God.
Those groves of cherry blossoms will bloom every year to remind the world of the sweetest, most forgiving woman who ever lived.
He did exactly what you expect stupid people to do when they win the lottery. Waste it on stupid crap. But let's go back to that T-Rex skeleton he bought Santa's little helper for a second. Real T-Rex fossils sell for more than $30 million. Homer could never have afforded one with his measly lottery winnings, so I can only conclude that the fossil was fake. Replicas are still worth a fair bit amount of money, though, and you can actually buy one on Etsy for around 20 grand. So essentially, Lisa's college fund is buried in Homer's backyard. Homer's assets aren't looking particularly promising, but the episode You Only Move Twice is about to change that. In this episode, Homer lands an executive job at the Globex power plant in Cypress Creek. On his first day, his new boss asks what his life's ambition is, and surprisingly, it's not to have legal ownership of every donut in existence.
Someday I'd like to own it.
I bet people laughed at you when you told them that dream.
Yeah.
Hank Scorpio seems like a super nice guy, but he's actually a terrorist planning to take over the East Coast with a doomsday device.
I have the doomsday device. You have 72 hours to deliver the gold. Watch this.
Homer Simpson's completely oblivious to the fact that his boss is a supervillain mastermind, and even standing in the middle of a war between Globex and the U.S. government isn't enough to make this dude stop and think, hey, maybe something doesn't seem quite right here.
Well, my family wants to move back to Springfield.
Let him go. You'll stay here with me. We'll go bowling.
Just a little thing.
Well, can't argue with the little things. It's the little things that make up life. I'm disappointed, but I think you need to do what's best for your family. Need anything, you call me.
All right. What's the number?
I never had to call my own company. Someone will tell you upstairs. You're missing out on some fun!
Simpsons moved back to Springfield after that, and a telegram arrived from Homer. It's from Hank thanking him for all of his hard work. Taking over the entire East Coast wouldn't have been possible without him. And to express his gratitude, he's bought Homer something you thought he'd love.
Drop me a line if you're on the East Coast. Hank Scorpio. Aw, the Denver Broncos.
Well, explain to me why it isn't.
You just don't understand football, Marge.
Assuming Homer kept the Denver Broncos, he's automatically rich for life because they're worth $5.5 billion, at least according to Forbes. Homer wouldn't be very good at managing the team, but he'd be amazing at blowing through his gigantic net worth, which totals a staggering $5,466,656,832.60. That's 9 times Matt Groening's net worth, by the way. Homer's ghost should really be echoing through the gold-plated halls of his private island mansion, yet he can't even afford to buy Marge a new washing machine. Want to see more insanity from your favorite characters? Click the screen now. Thanks for watching.